following show features reviews from wildly unprofessional critics operating without the supervision of professionals. The thoughts and opinions held by these individuals are not to be taken seriously and do not come from a place of intellectual integrity. This show doesn't reflect the opinions of Criticless or its users. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's time to finally stop the constant flood of filth and propaganda coming out of Hollywood. Fill the airwaves 24/7 with that garbage? We gonna do the same thing.
I'm still here, you shit eaters.
Let's freaking go, folks. What is going on? It's like one of those weird, like, I don't know what to do with my hands kind of things. This is really strange. I'm not used to being like the whole, just me in the screen doing the thing because, I usually have Matt or Chris or somebody in here, doing the multicam show. But it's just me this week, as we were talking about earlier on Bro Science, is that this week is going to be kind of weird because we're doing the meetup where Geeks and Gamers and Nine Line Apparel, all of that is happening. And so I am heading out of town first thing tomorrow, actually, with one of these guys right here, Mo Zamboni. He's going to be over there. We're all going to be hanging out. And obviously the Bro Science raid has happened. Thank you. Glad of all of you guys to join me over here. Welcome to Criticless Class. I can't even talk. Welcome to Criticless Cast. And, as Breezy says, gay. As it goes. But I love to see the Bro Science squad over here on Criticless. And with this show today, I'm taking things kind of easy, kind of chill. Just going to be talking about some entertainment things. Just going to be talking about kind of what's going on with this summer and with the rest of the year with movies. Kind of just wanted to hang with the chat, as Beardo and X-Wing were saying a few minutes ago, because I don't get to do that a lot. With the other show, it's just a little different vibe where we're all kind of hanging around here and pinging off of one another. And so I like this. I don't get to do it enough. So today I am going to do it. I'm going to hang with you guys, talk about the movies that have come out already this year, what's going to be coming out later. And obviously, if you don't know, I have a segment on this channel called Culture for Boomers. And if you're not aware of this segment and kind of what happens, it's the Wild West. I basically expose you guys to the things happening on TikTok and the rest of the interwebs, and shit's weird. People are really weird out there, and so I like for you guys to know how weird the internet has gotten, all the things happening in culture. So we're definitely going to do Culture for Boomers, maybe a little bit of what's happening in the entertainment news as well. But hello to everyone in the chat and to all my Bro Science people. Really glad to have y'all in here. I do see Thundarius5, member for 6 months, says F you, Blaine. And you know what? Thundarius, F you, dude. F you. And as I keep saying, glad that you're just back and you made it alive from Europe, because, you never know. You could get stabbed or something over there, but you made it all back in one piece. So thanks for the member for 6 month membership. Is that what it was? I have no idea anymore. I don't even know what's happening. And Life on Marshmallows for 5 gifted Criticless Cast memberships. And I'm sure that some of that will go out to you guys that are from the Bro Science squad. So welcome to the cult. If you guys did not know, Criticless Cast is a cult because we were actually called one from some people that got banned from Criticless. They called us a cult. And so welcome to the cult. Glad to have you. And thank you, as always, Life on Marshmallows, always consistent. Thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. And we've got Subtle Deviancy in here, member for 5 months, says, out of respect for you, I will use Christina's new pronouns following their successful transition surgery. I don't want to hurt her feelings. If you guys aren't a part of this inside joke, Chris, one of our members on this show that's normally here in person with me, he's been gone for like a month, and we've been trying to decide what it is that he's actually doing. And Subtle actually has come to the conclusion that Chris has actually been gone because he's secretly undergoing gender reassignment surgery, is what I guess some sort of research that Subtle has done. So when Chris shows back up, if he appears a little differently than he did before, then maybe that is the case. Maybe Subtle is onto something. So Subtle clearly knows something that I don't. I thought it was to find a new bride because he's perpetually single, but apparently that is not the case. It is actually a transition, according to Subtle. And before we keep trucking, I did want to bring this up as well. Couch Tater Cam for 10 gifted Criticless Cast memberships. Thanks, bro. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And to everyone who gets those 10 memberships, welcome to the cult. We are glad to have you, and you guys know the deal. I have to let everyone know in chat, if you don't know, that this is the case.
By the time I pay my scientists, all the people in my lab, my developers, the lab rats, it's a wash. Well, why you do it then? Because I'm selfless.
That's right. That's right. Because if you know how Criticless operates, that is very much the truth. After I pay all my lab rats and scientists, it is absolutely a wash. So we really appreciate all of the support over here on Criticless Cast and just in the app itself. And, you know, once again, hello to everyone in the chat. I see, you know, obviously I got to shout out Deborah Perkins, the lovely lady, our all-time favorite. Deborah Perkins here in the chat, and many of you guys others from the Bro Science community. Really glad to have you. I see Retro has been watching Obsession. Guys, listen, Obsession. If you have not seen it, I'm telling you, go check out Obsession. It's the only movie I've seen twice this year. It does not happen very much at all that I go see something twice in theaters because I just don't have the time to do it. And so this movie, you know, the wife and I, we were on a date night and she was like, is there anything out that we can see? And I'm like, well, I already have seen Obsession, but also I would watch it again. And then we saw it together and she was like, that movie terrified me so badly, I think I hate it. And I was like, no, you don't hate it. It just means that it did its job. If it elicits that kind of response, then, you know, it really means that it's a horror movie that did something right. So I definitely recommend that everyone go check out Obsession in theaters. And Sean Leach, what is happening here? I don't know. No one knows. I ask that every time that I'm doing this, and I'm still trying to figure out. You're really going to be asking it in a moment because it is time for Culture for Boomers. Now, I get to operate this a little differently. Now that I don't have to deal with the other guys on the stream and stuff. And I do see, speaking of other guys on the stream, Matt's wife, I see Xena here, Winefiend, what's going on, homie? And to so many of you that I haven't called out, and holy smokes, before I get to more, Bob Loves Movies is in here in the chat. Holy shit, for $50, he says, for those lab rats and scientists, also, yes, go see Obsession. And Bob has dropped his review on his channel and on Criticless. Go follow him, check out his stuff. And he loved it as well. I was hyping this thing up like crazy. And so a lot of you guys are starting to see Obsession. I want to see the movie win. I've been talking about it on all the streams, whether it be Film Threat, whether it be Main Event. Everywhere I go, I keep talking about it. And what up, Beardo? Thanks for the raid, brother. And I will see you tomorrow. But guys, it's time for Culture for Boomers. I got to make it weird. And, you know, coming off of Bro Science, I was like trying to think, I need to really tee up some good stuff. And so I figured the best thing to tee up Culture for Boomers with is something that went viral. And I want y'all's thoughts out there in the chat on this. We got a hot mom and her boobs that have gone viral. And so y'all just let me know your thoughts here.
I have been informed today that I need to wear a better bra and shirts that are not fitted. That's what I was told today at his awards day. It wasn't thank you for coming and supporting me. It was, what do you have on? And you need to change. And I don't think there's anything wrong with what I've got on.
Listen
There's
to this
not
guy.
nothing wrong with what I got on.
He's a savage.
I could literally see my friends looking at your tits because they're sticking out like a sore thumb.
Well, I can't help that.
And your nipples are poking out.
No, they're not.
They was.
Well, it may have been cold for a split second. Hold on. I better show 'em what I got on.
This is what I mean.
All right, chat. We just got to pause that for just a minute. Anything inappropriate about mom's clothes here? You know, I don't know. Or is she just, she got it going on, you know?
They're literally hanging.
What's hanging?
Your titties.
What do you mean they're hanging?
They look awful. Like, not awful. Like, they're just sticking out.
Radix.
Lord, it's about being naked.
I'm telling you, kids, I'll say this. I would have never had the stones to say that to my mother, not ever. But it is, you know, it's hard out on these streets for kids who have hot moms, you know? It's tough. And as Mo says, TDs is how you say it. And see, Beardo, he's an expert here. Great tits. Great tits. That's what I'm saying. I mean, this young man, I feel it. I feel the pressure, and I hate it for my son, as he gets older, having a smoking hot wife of mine and having that as his mother. He's going to have to deal with that, getting just, hazed by his buddies. So having a hot mom, it's a rough life. But this guy, this kid, he just straight up said, he's like, Mom, look, I'm not comfortable with your enormous rack. And so, that's how it goes, buddy. You just got to deal with it. You gotta roll with the punches. And she looks good. And I love it. Chat called it out. You guys put it in there. And also right here, her voice is just instant Dolly Parton. I mean, that accent, I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's just me being Southern. When it's like she already was looking good, but that accent brings it up to a 10. Is that just a Southern thing? Or is it like, do people from up north, other sides of the country, or even the other side of the pond, do you guys find that thick Southern accent attractive? Or is it or is it not? Does it not work for you? For me personally, I love it. But I don't think, I definitely, just to skip back ahead really quick.
This is what I mean.
I don't call those hanging, but I get it. He's just really trying to discourage his mom from looking hot, and I don't think he can stop it. But hey, congrats to her for going super viral. That thing did numbers, 2.7 million views, absolutely nuts. So along with that, I wanted to bring this up. This is kind of bro science adjacent, actually. I don't know if any of you guys have heard this before. I actually found this out for the first time, is that apparently when it comes to genetics and genes, apparently the coordination, the skill at sports and things like that actually come from the mother and not from the father. So I've been hearing a lot of guys out here on the social internets, on the web, saying that you should actually probably on one of your first dates, if you're looking for a new wife, you actually need to like take her to play kickball, or like, maybe kick around a soccer ball or something, maybe throw some baseball, find out how coordinated she is, because otherwise your kids could just be totally screwed with no coordination. You got to have a wife that's really coordinated. And this guy hit on it here. This video got 1.2 million views.
My fucking kids are not going D1. Oh, fuck. Oh my God. This is the first time I've ever seen her run. God damn it. Y'all motherfuckers better be smart as hell. Jesus Christ.
It's brutal. I mean, that run is
My fucking kids are not going D1.
It's not a great run.
Fuck.
Not a very athletic run there. So you gotta really check before you lock them down, or your kids won't go D1. So just know that and just be prepared. You got to get a coordinated lady if you want a coordinated kid. Now, speaking of interesting kids, this guy, I've been following him for a while. I love him. I show his stuff anytime I can because he's freaking great. And everybody needs to live life like this guy right here.
So today was a good day today. I did something productive. And that is that I did a DNA test for myself. And I got the results back. And the results, and when I looked at the results, it turns out that I love bad bitches.
I had no idea that DNA results could actually tell you that you love bad bitches, but I am sure that if I took the test, it would say the same thing. And this guy, he's an absolute Chad. He's great, and he's down with bad bitches. Speaking of interesting ladies, something happened to this lady. This girl decided to buy an Alani. Don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Alani. It's an energy drink, but it's very much a female leaning energy drink is what Alani is. Now, this girl's video did 9.6 million views. And this is wild. Be careful buying Alani's is all I'm going to say. This blew up.
Okay. I don't even know where to start. I'm going to be so honest. We're just going to rip the Band-Aid off. Found a dead mouse in the bottom of my Alani can. Yeah, have it right here. Right next to me, looking right at me. Mind you, it's like fully like this, like top, like it's on. So a mouse can't get in there. Can't get in there in my car. I'm also not dirty, gross, and disgusting. Anywho, so I finally bring it inside. I start dumping it out. 3/4 of it. I drank it. Yeah, drank it. I'm pouring it out, and I'm like, why does it feel like there's still so much in it? It's so heavy. I feel a little thud. It's in the bottom of this one. Oh my gosh! Sorry, this is crazy. I'm gonna just show you.
Y'all get ready. All right, just get ready. This is legit. Absolutely nuts.
I'm like so scared. Sorry, I know it's not even alive. It's fully dead. Guys, okay.
I don't think this is staged, Sweet Potato. I really don't. I don't. It is. I don't know how you wouldn't taste that though. You'd probably feel it clunking around. I am very curious to see. She literally tagged Alani in it, bro. And we hear about weird things like this happening, you know, to folks where things end up in food. There was another thing that went viral. Supposedly there was wood chips in some bread recently, but I can't fathom. I don't really understand how it would get in there.
Guys.
But if you think about it, I think the way that these cans, I'm trying to pause it so you can see the can here. Oh, maybe I don't want to pause it on a dead mouse. It's kind of gross.
Guys.
So the way that they do the cans, I think it seals, right? Because they got to put the liquid in. I don't think they put the liquid in through the thing that you pop open, right? So one could potentially fall in there before they seal up the can. However they do that, I'm not a can professional per se, but I can, yeah, exactly. Can lids get pressed on after they're filled. Exactly. So that's when it could have fell in. That would be absolutely vile. Can you just imagine for just a minute realizing that you drank like 3/4 of this thing and all of a sudden something just clunks, you know? I actually had something. It was definitely not a dead mouse, but I did get a bad drink once that was a canned drink, and there was chunks of something in it, and I was very nauseous. It was absolutely disgusting. So things go wrong with manufacturing. And yeah, Thunders, I hear you. How do you not know? I guess eventually you find out when it like clogs up the part that you're drinking out of. But this thing went super viral, 1.4 million likes and like 9 million and something views. So man, that is absolutely disgusting. And so just be aware that when things are processed, when you buy things, sometimes stuff goes wrong with manufacturing. I'm curious to see if Alani answers it or if they pretend like it doesn't happen. Because that's the thing. She cut it open before she filmed it and stuff. That was a mistake. I would have definitely busted out the camera first because you got to show that you're cracking this thing open. You know, you got to show them that you didn't stage the whole thing. Now, guys, listen. You know, sometimes I pull up some weird videos that go semi-viral. Sometimes I don't, and I just think it's ludicrous. This guy. He started an account and it's starting to take off. And this fella, he basically, he tries to see if he's crapped himself.
Today I'll be guessing if I crap my pants.
All right, now, before we get rolling here, and I apologize in advance, I guess we need to just, on each go here, see if you can predict by the sound, you know, what's happened here. No, that's safe.
No, I don't think that was. No.
Yeah. Can you? I agree. This is my whole thing is that I saw this, and so you guys have to see it. You know, that's really where I sit here. But this is a real thing. You know, I'm not. Cookie dinner. I won't show the all right, fine. I won't show the whole thing, but I just needed to show you guys that this is the stuff that people are putting on. Can you imagine filming yourself doing this and putting it on social media? Now, this ends, and like I said, I'm not going to torture you guys with the whole thing, but I think that this dude actually does crap himself, and he posted it on the internet. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You're just imagine interviewing for a job, and you're sitting down at the job, and you're like, "Is this you, sir? Is this you? Are you the guy that filmed yourself crapping your pants?" You know, and I just can't imagine, but it's going to happen. Yes, no shame. These people, it's going to live out there on the internet forever. And I'll just say, I did watch it till the end. I'm not going to make you guys do it. I'm not going to make you see it, but he does. He does it. So just know that 258,000 people saw this dude crap himself. So it's a real thing. Exactly. Yeah, Mark Andre. So I'm hired. Yeah, that's what these people think, you know? And they're going to have it shown back to them. But I guess there could be worse things. You could say some really ridiculous things and get busted with that. But I won't make you guys watch it. Now, I did find this really interesting, and I just want to keep people hype, keep people aware that this is happening. I have talked about it on the show, but they are making a new Baywatch. And this is the star of the new Baywatch and something that happened to him. You guys might recognize him. This is Stephen Amell from the old show Arrow, the Green Arrow television show.
Hey, so just heading into work on a Friday, a little bit of a late start. We've had late starts this week. Had the opportunity to meet a neighbor of mine this morning, came over to say hi and discuss some neighborly things. We got into talking about what he does and what I do for work. I told him that I'm an actor. He asked me what I'm working on. I said what I'm working on. And then he just said, like unironically, wow, best of luck with them trying to replace Hasselhoff. And I said, you're telling me, buddy. You are telling me.
You know, that's a legit tall order. My guy has got to replace the Hoff. I cannot imagine. And I don't know if y'all have seen, I've shown it on this channel before. We've talked about it. The casting for this new Baywatch show is impeccable. They're doing really good casting. Now, like J-Do said, there are men in Baywatch. Never noticed. I'm right there with you. Never noticed the dudes in Baywatch. It's just babes, right? And I'm excited for it to come back. I wish Stephen Amell the best. I hope he knocks it out of the freaking park and does an excellent job. I hope that this show slaps. And I'll be the first to let you guys know because I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be there day one. And I mean, Stephen Amell did an awesome show called Heels that followed Arrow. He knocked it out of the park, did absolutely great. It's a show about wrestling. Even if you're not into wrestling, you would love it. It's great. And so he's still been doing good stuff. I think all of Heels is on Netflix last I checked. I'm going to go back and watch it, but I will be watching the new Baywatch show day one. Now, before we keep trucking, I have to bring this up because it just came through. Zwanny5 for $100 says, thanks for making all of us feel better about ourselves. We may be idiots, but wait, hold on. I want to make sure I get that right. Making us feel better about ourselves. We may be idiots, but we are not idiots. Oh, maybe IDOTs. I missed the I. Yes, you're right. IDOTs. We are IDOTs. Yes, exactly. But not idiots. Yes, that's exactly right. We're all IDOTs here, Zwanny. Thank you for the 100. It's really appreciated. That is awesome. Thank you so much. You're the best, Zwanny. Love to see it. And yeah, you guys are IDOTs, but not idiots. That's right. And speaking of IDOTs, if you did not know yet, like I said, or weren't in here earlier, all of us IDOTs are going to be getting together in Savannah, Georgia, at 9 Line Apparel at their headquarters. Quite a few of us are going to be there, me, Beardo, X-Wing, and the whole crew, but all of us are going to be down there. So it's going to be fun. Come say hi if you were in the area. And actually, then the following week, we're going to have a Criticless meetup. If you did not know that, here in North Carolina, we're going to meet up at Paramount's Carowinds, Drunk 3PO, Jay, is coming up here. And we're actually even going to be doing a live stream show from my house in the studio with all the cameras set up and everything. Jay's going to be here. We're going to be talking about, I think I am going to be able to get Jay to go see Backrooms. We're going to be talking about the Backrooms on this channel and reviewing it and just hanging out, having a fun day afterwards after the meetup that we're going to be doing on Friday of next week. So if you are in the North Carolina kind of surrounding area and want to hang out with us at Carowinds, you can do that. Or you can just come up to the meetup afterwards. I think we're going to be meeting up at the Twin Peaks across the street, but we'll be letting you guys know times and all of that. So there is 2 back-to-back meetups happening. Jay has been super busy lately, and we're going to be happy for him to come hang out here with us in good old North Kakalaki. So yeah, all of that is happening. Now, I was trying to decide if I was going to show you guys anything else. There's this guy that we've been following lately, and I want to hear y'all's thoughts. This guy, if you're familiar with the channel, this dude, Dr. Do, this guy has been mixing things with he's been mixing things with Mountain Dew, and he chugs them. And he has done it with whole hot dogs and swallowed hot dogs whole, hot dog water in Mountain Dew. He does a lot of weird things. And this time he poured a substantial amount of ghost pepper hot sauce into Mountain Dew and chugged it. And this guy is like kind of taken off on the social medias for chugging all these drinks, and he's going to let you know if this is a drink worth having.
Something, all right. You guys get tired of having plain on ghost pepper sauce all the time. You put that on your chicken or your steak or other meal you use for spiciness, and you think that you need something way more better than that, and also something extra good as a treat. Well, let me tell you something. What will happen is ghost pepper taste like your favorite beverage right here, y'all. Like Mountain Dew, for example. Well, let me show you something right here, all right? Oh yeah, shout out to Sofa Dig Video, my brother new account right here, y'all, all right?
That's a decent amount of hot sauce right there. That Mountain Dew is completely red. It has got to burn.
Oh! Ghost Dew! Oh! See what I did? And then another one, huh?
Yeah, no, bro, that's not the one. That is absolutely not the one. He is a legend, DJ. I completely agree. This guy, he is, dude, yes, his stomach has got to be absolutely freaking rocked. If y'all have not seen me share his other videos, this guy, he's gaining some traction. He does some really ridiculous stuff. He swallows food whole in this Mountain Dew. He drank a bunch of green beans. He's actually on YouTube as well, Dr. Dew is. So I like to shout him out, but I showed this a few weeks ago, and you guys need to see this because people didn't believe that that this guy was doing the things that he's doing out in the wild. I still can't believe he did this right here.
You guys want to know something? All right. You guys want me to take on a bigger challenge than the ones I done with the 5 hot dogs, and you want to see something bigger and longer? Well, let me tell you something. Dr. Do, I got...
Guys, first off, maybe don't start out a video being like, you want to see me do something bigger and longer. You know, that's... listen, maybe there's a better approach, but Dr. Do is still a legend. You gotta love him.
A 12-inch long hot dog you guys want to see and see if I can handle this or not. Well, I will do my best to try to show you how this done, all right? So let me show you something right here, all right? 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! That's right. Not even a foot long can even beat me right here. Now that right there is the one right here. I will do my best to try to show you how this done, all right? So let me show you something.
He just a whole foot long hot dog. Dude, yeah, just another day on Bro Island, you know? It's weird flex, bro, is all I gotta say. I'd maybe stick to the Mountain Dew stuff. But listen, you know, I respect the hustle. The guy's going for it. He's showing people what he's capable of.
You guys want to know
what he
something?
Can do.
All right.
And it's throat and glizzies, apparently. So more power to you. More power to you on that. I totally feel you. So yeah, that's Dr. Do. Definitely give him a follow. I love to give him the shout out whenever I can. I cannot recommend doing any of the things that he does on his channel, but I think we've found some good ones this week. Obviously, I don't know about you guys, but I still think the winner of the week really is we got to give a shout out to the hot mom and her titties. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, shout out to all the hot moms out there. It's a hard life being a hot mom, and it's even a harder life being a son, where you got a hot mom, because you'll never hear the end of it, not for the rest of your life. And so, props to this guy for telling his mom, look, I can't handle how hot you are. Now, one more thing I wanted to show you, because I was pretty shocked about this, that he actually admitted it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Matan, or Matan, is that how you say his name? I don't know. This guy over here with the curly afro hair. He has a comedy podcast, and he brought John Carricow on. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him, but he has basically become this 3-letter agency whistleblower. And he's out here saying all kinds of interesting things that we didn't know have happened behind the scenes with our government and otherwise. But I cannot believe that he went on this comedy show and he said something rather shocking. So I just figured I'd show you guys. This is a clip from the interview that he did.
How would you sum up your experience working for the Mossad?
It was great until I realized what the heck was actually going on. But I did enjoy the travel. I went to 72 countries with the CIA.
Which was the worst one?
See, I'm going to get death threats for answering you truthfully.
If you answer it correctly.
Now, chat, go ahead and sound off. What do you think the worst country that he's ever been to is? Do we have a guess? He's been all over the world. He said he's been to however many countries. And yes, Mark, I agree. This kid's hair, it's difficult. That's a lot of hair. But out of all the countries he's been to, what do you think is the worst one?
See, I'm going to get death threats for answering you truthfully.
If you answer it correctly, these people won't even have a phone to look at.
I hated India. I just hated it.
Unfortunately, they have phones.
You want to take a shit, you're walking down the street, and people just pull down their pants and take a shit right there on the street, and then pull up their pants and walk away.
You saw that happen?
Every day. Every single day.
How would you...
Nuts. Can you imagine that? Whole different lifestyle, I guess. I can't imagine that, doing that in public. He just says they just keep walking. There's a longer version of this clip where he gets into it and he's just like, dude, I never want to go back. Like, it's terrible. It is absolutely disgusting. And you're like, we see the Western world and a lot of people coming over here, and you're like, oh, that's why, because people are just taking shits in the street. And yes, Bob, sounds like California, So I wonder what his thoughts are comparing the two, because it sounds like that's a similar thing that happens in areas like LA. Also, I saw Banjo in here, this stinking Brit. He says, America, the worst place he's ever been. Granted, I'll say things have been on a bit of a downward slope of late. They haven't been great, but I think that's happening everywhere. But Banjo, come on. I mean, you guys aren't doing too good over there either, man. I've heard things are a bit rough over there. But yeah, I can't imagine going to a country where people are comfortable doing that. That's just absolutely wild. But one thing that I didn't do, I just started Culture for Boomers, and I didn't even run the thing. I didn't do what I normally do. So I'm going to do that here at the end, guys. That has been your Culture for Boomers. That's right, and chat has been demanding that I change that clip and I change the old man and substitute the old man and put Gary in there instead. Y'all let me know in the chat. Like, should I make that bumper and make it have Gary actually instead of just random old man number 2? I've been debating on it and I'm not sure. Now, another thing that since we were coming off of bro science, and I had some bro science centric clips here for you, some things for Culture for Boomers where we were doing some bro sciencey things in there. I was spicing it up, and I was like, what's a good story? Is there anything happening in the news right now that is also kind of a little bro science adjacent, since a lot of you guys are in here? And once again, I do appreciate all you guys joining me over here after Bro Science. Now, I wanted to pull up this article that was ran on geeksandgamers.com. And I want to hear from the chat. I want to hear all of you guys' level of excitement for this new Masters of the Universe or He-Man movie that is coming out. It's very soon. I actually already have my tickets, and we'll talk about it in a little bit with my most anticipated movies of the year. But this movie, Masters of the Universe, is actually my #1 most anticipated film of the year. I think it is going to be awesome. I am very excited for it. I hope that it's great. But now, if you take a look here on this Geeks and Gamers article, it says Masters of the Universe early review mentions fragile masculinity themes, but is that actually in the film? And so that's the thing is I saw these articles. There were some articles, or not articles, but just some early reviews and things of the like that started kind of trickling out on the interwebs. And so I saw those, and I was a little worried because of people talking about toxic masculinity and such. Now, before I actually continue that thought, I did see somebody here in the chat who I needed to bring up. Mr. freaking Dutch Butters Gaming says, I want a new Pacific Rim movie, bro. Dude, I agree. Word on the street is they're making a TV show. I don't know if it's happened. If y'all don't follow Dutch Butters, make sure to do that. He's the homie from over at the Salty Nerd podcast where he came from originally. Now he's got his own channel, got all that running, doing gaming. Go check out his stuff. But what's up, brother? Good to see you in here. Hadn't seen you over here, so I'm glad to have you. So with Masters of the Universe, this movie, I was a little worried. They show a clip, or actually a screenshot here of this review from this Andrew J. Salazar. And it says, Masters of the Universe is like a sister film to the first Thor. Struggles to find its footing in the first half, but once it locks on the themes of fragile masculinity and ego, it makes way for an incredibly fun time that's also visually stimulating. And Nicholas Galanzine, or however you say his name, is great. Now, listen, here's the thing. The first time I saw there's only a few of the reviews that are mentioning things like this, but when I saw them come out, I was like, is this a case of the media, some of these early critics and stuff, trying to actually do work to promote a message that's not actually in this movie? And that was my first thought. And then interestingly enough, if you take a look here, that's actually what Marvin is talking about in this article. And I'm glad that he was kind of making some of the connections that I was with this. And I think that some of these early critics and stuff that are getting to see it are projecting onto this film something that is likely not even there. So I guess part of why I wanted to talk about this was actually also that it's just be careful to not make a knee-jerk reaction when you see some of this stuff start to come out, because it might not actually be in the film. There might just be some projection happening. It might be the media pushing things on it that aren't there. And I just really kind of feel like that's going to be the case with this movie, because if you know anything about He-Man, it is very macho. It's very masculine. That's what the brand is known for. He's He-Man. It's this big, jacked dude. And as I've mentioned elsewhere, Nicholas, that plays the character of He-Man, this dude was a scrawny little guy, not very big at all. And he took this role so seriously. He went out. I mean, he was probably on the roids. I mean, the level of growth that he's had is kind of nuts. Either way, freaking respect it. He got absolutely massive for this. When they announced the casting, I was like, oh no, this movie's going to suck. It's going to be terrible. And then they started showing there were like videos and photos of him and other cast members just getting jacked for this movie and trying to actually fit the role. And so I'm like, look, if they're already doing that, it's one of those things where it's showing a commitment to what this is, this franchise is known for. So that was already a good sign. And now he brings up as well, Travis Knight had mentioned previously a toxic masculinity thing. And the question is as well, is when some of this starts to happen, it's like, when you start to look into the interviews and the things that are happening, it's like these journalists are literally fishing for these buzzwords so that they can make articles to freaking pin it to certain properties. And it's become this bullshit thing that like you have to kind of wade through the shit of the media trying to put certain spins on things, of the actors and actresses trying to put a spin on things to project a film in a certain way to where you actually go see it and you're like, None of that is in this movie. None of that is here. What happened to all of these articles that I read and all of this stuff where people are, painting this movie out to be a certain way, and that's not actually what has happened. And so as Marvin pointed out here in this article, he says some fans say that the messaging is being exaggerated. And so he says, YouTube creator Mr. H Reviews has repeatedly cited a source who allegedly attended test screenings of the film and claimed the toxic masculinity discourse surrounding the movie is being dramatically overstated online. And that's the key right there. And so there's he also gave another kind of clip here from or screenshot from over on X with Lord Brian. He says, just because you want to put in far left buzzwords like toxic masculinity in a film and look for things like that doesn't mean it was actually there. The people I know that actually saw it said it was an awesome space fantasy and have no idea what the hell you're talking about. But please cram in more intersectionality talking points in your review, maybe cultural appropriation. So that's the thing, is people are out here being like, look, like this movie isn't pushing messaging. There's not all this crap in there. And this is just being pushed by people who want controversy, who want clicks, who want attention, or who even liked a movie like this, and they're trying to soften the blow because they feel like their audience, the movie might not be catered to their audience, and they're like, well, this is a good movie, though. Maybe if I say something about toxic masculinity and how it kind of, it addresses that, then maybe my audience will like go check out this good movie, but instead of just being like, nah, it's just a great summer popcorn flick, like Dutch Butter said. And that's what I think that this movie is going to be, and that's why I've been so excited for it. And if you're watching the I don't know if all of you guys are familiar with a lot of the things that have been happening with them marketing this movie, but they are marketing the absolute shit out of it, and it looks fantastic. And to me, the marketing and advertising for this movie, it reads like a studio that is extremely confident in what they have made. And that is a really good sign, because Hollywood lately, you've been able to tell by watching a lot of the marketing, like with Mando and Grogu, when you see the marketing, it reads like a movie that the studio is not confident of. It is terrified that it's going to bomb. But when you look at all of how they're going out of their way for He-Man and Masters of the Universe, to me, it seems like something that they are just extremely confident in. And so it is still one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I've said it before, I already have my tickets for Masters of the Universe. I think it is going to be absolutely awesome. And I don't know why, actually, I was going to go ahead and show this. Now, I don't know if you guys have done this on Criticless yet, but you can make lists. We have a lists feature where you can essentially make any kind of list you want based off movies, TV shows, whatever is there in our database. Now, currently it's sitting at number 4. I'm wondering at what point I moved it. I was wrong. So Street Fighter is actually my number 1 most anticipated. But that was one of the things that I put kind of in the title of this video, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about with you guys. I want to see like what everybody else is excited about. Sound off in the chat. Like, is Masters of the Universe up there? Do you still have hope with this kind of semi-bad press that some of these early screeners have put on it? Or do you think it's smoke and mirrors and they're making it look one way when it's not? I want to hear y'all's thoughts, because I really think Masters of the Universe is going to be good. And another one, like Jake Stanley said here, is Street Fighter. I have it in number 1 apparently currently. I didn't realize that it was. I thought Masters of the Universe was switched with it, but I've switched it at some point. But I think that we are still in for some really good movies this summer, and this year has actually not been that bad for film. And there's been some good things, and there's been some serious surprises. Now, if you look at number 10, Obsession was my number 10 movie, and I gave it a 92, 93. Saw it twice, and I'm super excited about it. Now, there's still plenty up here that have not come out and I have not seen, so the jury is still out. But Masters of the Universe is sitting at number 4 for me. Y'all let me know where you have it on your anticipated list. But Thundarius was like, what did Blaine think of MK2? I actually do have a mini review of it on our channel here. But Mortal Kombat 2, for me, I gave it a 50%. I thought Mortal Kombat 2 was massively disappointing. I thought it was just a very half-assed movie. But that being said, I know that I'm a bit of an outlier to some degree because it's sitting at a 70% still on Criticless. I mean, by 109 people. So some of you guys really liked it. I didn't. But I mean, look, I mean, we got 80% here. We've got, rads, most excellence, a lot of them. But people are still torn to some degree. And we actually got Carol Brown on here for her first review, gave it a 50%. So I mean, it's still higher scores than lower. But if I agree with Mo, the movie was a bait and switch. It did not land the way it should. But we've got people like Crisco. He's like, no excitement for Masters of the Universe, and you see a lot of stuff, dude. So I'm curious to see where you'll land after it comes out, and if your excitement goes up. I think that Masters of the Universe looks like a good, campy, old school summer blockbuster, just a fun film. And so, I mean, for me personally, this is, oh dang, I had not seen that. So this clocks in at 2 hours and 12 minutes. That also could speak to a couple things, but it's a bit of confidence to me if you're releasing this movie. And there is a new trailer. I didn't want to show it on this channel because I felt like it showed a little too much, but they are revealing a lot of the OG characters and they look very accurate to the old cartoons, and I'm really just becoming more and more excited for Masters of the Universe. I do not know if you guys are familiar with this, but Travis Knight, the guy that's directing this, now one of the movies he directed was Bumblebee, which I thought was actually better than it gets credit for. But the interesting thing about Travis Knight is that this dude is the guy that is the CEO of Laika, I think is how you say the name of the company, but it's the guys that do the stop motion movies. He literally is the guy behind Kubo and the Two Strings, behind Box Trolls, Paranorman, Missing Link, Coraline. This dude has been attached to some excellent stuff, and now he's working his way into live action. Now, one other little tidbit about Travis Knight is his dad is one of the dudes that helped start Nike, which is kind of wild. So a little bit of Nepo stuff happening there, but he's had a pretty decent career in film so far. I have some hope in this movie. Now, with where things are sitting, I kind of wanted to look at where the movie slate was, right? Because one of the ones that I have up top here is Resident Evil. And it seems like a lot of you guys are pretty hesitant about Resident Evil. Being who is directing it, I still have faith. I still have hope, being that it's Zach Krieger, and this guy has been doing excellent stuff. I loved Weapons. It was my #1 film of the year last year, so he's getting a lot of extra points for this new Resident Evil, for my hope for it. But it could be terrible. It could be nothing like Resident Evil, could not be good. But I have some of my favorite working directors putting things out right now, which is why I'm excited. We've got Werewolf at the end of the year. I do not know if you guys know that this is coming out or know anything about it, but Werewolf is actually the next film set to come out by Robert Eggers. If you don't know who Robert Eggers is, it's the guy who did Nosferatu, Northman, Lighthouse, The Witch. So this guy's done some pretty loved films, but at the same time, he's a little bit more of a controversial director. So it depends on how you feel about his style and his vibe. But Werewolf is still coming out this year, and I am pretty interested in it. But personally, I thought about it, and I want to come in here and I want to move things around. I don't know if you guys know that you can do this on Criticless, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to move Masters of the Universe up. Now, y'all let me know if I should rearrange anything here on this list. But Masters of the Universe, I think it's tied for first place with Street Fighter. These two movies way up there, and honestly, I'm becoming more excited about Masters of the Universe, and it might be my #1. I want to put it all the way up there at the top because honestly, it's man, it's just looking so good. Now, the thing is, we're 2 weeks or a week away, basically, from the Backrooms. I'm super, super excited about this. Obviously, Mortal Kombat can go way down. We're gonna move things. Did not dig it. That's going down on the list. Didn't enjoy it so well. But there's some things on here that are coming out that you guys might not know are still happening this year. Backrooms is in a week, not far away. But we still, Spider-Man Brand New Day is not that far away. And then weirdly enough, we have no trailer for Doomsday yet. There's nothing out. We don't know very much about it at all. The reason I have it up so high, not necessarily that I think that it's not necessarily that I think that Doomsday is going to be that good. I am just anticipating something. I don't know what that I'm anticipating. It might be a dumpster fire, but it's high up on that list. The Odyssey, honestly, I can bring it down. I'm getting every bit of press, every trailer. I'm getting less and less excited for the Odyssey. I don't know about you guys. It seems to be happening for a lot of you guys. Sean says he thinks Doomsday is going to be delayed till next summer. I do not think that that's going to happen. Now, I do think going neck to neck with the Odyssey is going to be some serious problems. There's going to be some real problems with the Odyssey going up against Doomsday or vice versa, and it's eating up all of the IMAX theaters. And so basically, Doomsday is going to have to lean on things like Dolby Theater to maybe capitalize on the premium formats. And I don't know how many Dolbys are even out there. But Backrooms, super excited for it. Obsession was great. Like I've said, I'm encouraging everybody to see it. I still have not seen Project Hail Mary. I have not watched it, and I keep getting a lot of crap, but it's on home video now, so I'm going to be checking it out with the wife and kids soon, and I'm very excited to watch it. I know that it's a lot of you guys' favorite movies of the year. Now, good luck, have fun, don't die. If you have not seen it, it is on streaming. Watch it. I loved it. It is weird as shit. That movie's wild. A lot of you guys missed it, and it's worth seeing. The Rip was decent, didn't blow my mind, but I gave it a rad. Not a bad movie. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, by one of my favorite directors, actually. The guy who did, oh man, now I'm blanking. Y'all are going to have to let me know in the chat after I've called him one of my favorite directors and then can't think of the movies that he's done. He did The A-Team, which is one of them, but I'm blanking on his name. But anyways, oh man, we got somebody saying Project Hail Mary was dumb in the chat. That's wild. It seems like most people really like it a lot. But The Rip was okay. Now, How to Make a Killing, not much came out of that. I did see Send Help, really enjoyed it. Recommend you guys see it. Ready or Not 2. I haven't seen it yet, but I love the first one, so I still want to watch this. Now, Digger is kind of this like stealth movie coming out this year that you guys might or might not be aware of. I'm going to save this list so I can click on it, but this is the new Tom Cruise movie coming out, and we don't have a really good like trailer or anything for this yet, but it seems really weird. It's done by Alejandro Inarritu, but with it being John Goodman, Tom Cruise, it seems really strange. The little trailer that they have for it has me very intrigued, and this could be the stealth hit, or it could turn out being like some kind of weird political mess that's like some, who knows, go over like one battle after another or something where, it's catering to a certain audience and all of that. It could be terrible, but I really hope, with it being Tom Cruise, he normally shows up, puts on a hell of a performance. I hope Digger is actually really cool. Now, a lot of these have already come out here in this middle range, and I've enjoyed them. They Will Kill You, one of my favorite movies of this year. A lot of you guys did not see it. Check out They Will Kill You. I'm telling you, nobody saw this movie, and it is awesome. I thought it was going to kind of be this very like politically correct, woke, whatever you want to call it type of movie. It was not. It's badass, very Tarantino, absolutely nuts, super gory over the top, and has a hook to it that you shouldn't let people ruin. They don't get spoilers on this movie. What it is actually about is nuts, and I recommend you check it out. Now, I didn't see Normal. Disclosure Day is the next kind of big one, though. I don't know if we have a release date in here yet for this, but it's Steven Spielberg's next movie, and it's about aliens. So, like, this could be actually quite good. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out. But I think this year, I'm talking about, there have been a lot of, I haven't seen anything that I absolutely hated this year yet, where it's like, I was very disappointed by Mortal Kombat 2, but I didn't hate it. And I don't know, you guys let me know in the chat, like, oh, thank you. Joe Carnahan was the guy also that did, he is the director of, where is it? The Rip. Thank you, Life on Marshmallows, after we've reviewed like all of his movies, and then I can't remember his name. But yeah, I this year's actually going fairly well. Now, Coyote versus Acme. I don't know if you guys know about this. There is one trailer that's out. This movie got dumped by Warner. Warner Brothers actually completely dumped this movie and threw it to the wolves and sold it to freaking Ketchup Media, of all companies, which most of you have probably never heard of. But Ketchup Media is actually who's putting this out. And this movie has an absolutely stacked cast. It's in the similar vein of a film like Space Jam. And it's got Will Forte in it, and there's a lot of other folks playing smaller roles. A lot of them that we kind of credit so far are just your voice actors and whatever. But there are a lot of other people that are big actors that are in smaller roles in this. John Cena is one of the big roles, though. But excuse me, I think that Coyote versus Acme actually looks really good, and it could be the sleeper hit that Warner regrets selling. And they've even, Ketchup Media has been leaning into basically like the fact that this movie was kind of thrown to the wolves in this corporate kind of machine situation. So I think it could be very good. Now, as we keep chugging along here, I wanted to bring up some others here. Where Supergirl, like this movie, dude, like the negative buzz that this movie has at this point is not good. James Gunn's DC universe is not looking good at all, and he needs to be extremely worried about the fact that no one is excited for this new Supergirl movie. It is not looking good for him. I did want to pull up really quick Bob Loves Movies for $30. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. He said, I need to head out for the night. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks, Bob, for the 30. Love to see it. You're the man. And go check out Bob's channel. Go give him a follow. He's doing great stuff out there, doing some good reviews. So definitely go sub over to Bob Loves Movies. Now, I wanted to see in the water cooler here. Yeah, we've got Terrapin reviews talking about a new trailer was good, and I think this movie could be excellent. I guess the bad guys never watched John Wick. So that's the thing here. I don't know if you guys are familiar. We have a section called the water cooler, which is basically almost like a Reddit thread for any piece of entertainment that is on Criticless. Definitely use the water cooler feature. We need to do a better job about promoting it and kind of how it works. But you can just come hang out here, have chats with people, share some things and your opinions on what's going on in here. You'll always find Banjo in the water cooler. But yeah, come in here and comment and let us know your thoughts on things that are happening, and then share it to your page. Do a share and let people know your thoughts. But I really don't think Supergirl is going to do well. Actually, though, my daughter was kind of excited, so I'll be seeing it. I'm going to take her. We're going to watch it. And I'll let you guys know my thoughts after I do see it. But that's the thing. We got another DC Universe movie here with Clayface. It's coming out this year, but it's like another one of these DC movies that is not a mainline character. It's not Batman. You know, this is not Superman. Granted, Superman did not go over as well as they wanted to. You know, this isn't even Green Arrow. It's a villain. It's Clayface as one of your early, movies for building out a universe is a Clayface movie. And I don't really understand the logic behind what it is that James Gunn is doing over there. Like Mark said, they need to fire Gunn and reboot the DCU. I was super excited when they first hired James Gunn, honestly. Like, I thought that, he understands the industry. He's done well over at Marvel. He knows the in and outs. He'll be able to clean up whatever's going on over there and really reboot and give us a new universe and give us something really cool. Granted, I liked some of the things Snyder was doing, but the thing is that, he's shown that he has no idea really what he's doing over at DC and just seems to be mishandling everything. It kind of seems to be like one kind of dropped ball after another. But I'll say, if you've seen the trailer for Clayface, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty good. So, like, Clayface might actually be all right. Now, the big one here that I think I'm going to catch a lot of crap about that I'm not very excited about is Dune Part 3. I don't know what it is about the Dune series. Maybe it's all the sand. Maybe I'm a full-blown Anakin, and it's just the sand. I don't like the sand. Not a fan. But I don't know. I'm not super excited about Dune 3. I hope it's great. I hope everyone loves it. And I hope it pleases fans. I'll obviously see it, and I've given the other films decent reviews, but I just don't love them. They're just kind of okay for me. I don't know. The world is just, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. It just hasn't hooked me in the way that I thought it was. Maybe I need to read the books. I don't know. A lot of people love them. And I agree. There's some things about with you, Ryan, where like there were some things like with Chani and other things where I've heard compared to the books, especially how they've messed up. I think they messed up with some of the casting in general in that movie. But now there's one that I wanted to bring up, Power Ballad. I'm actually interested in this. I've heard I was on Film Threat the other day, and somebody had seen it at an early screening. This is coming out quite soon. I think this will go under the radar, and it will end up being a movie that is loved. But part of why I wanted to pull this up is it's directed by John Carney. This guy did a movie, which is, I don't like musicals. Everyone needs to know this. And Power Ballad is a musical to some degree. He did a movie called Sing Street. I need to review it. I need to get in Criticless and talk about it. But Sing Street is my all-time favorite musical. It is completely revolves around and set in the 80s. It's got 80s music in it. It's all 80s inspired. It takes place in Ireland. This movie is a freaking vibe. I absolutely love it and highly recommend you check it out. But being that he did Sing Street, Power Ballad has my attention, and it's coming out very soon, and apparently people are already seeing it. So keep your eye out for this. It's got Paul Rudd, Nick Jonas. It's billed as a comedy drama. I am curious to see how it turns out. So that's the thing, is there's some movies like that are coming out this year that I think are going to kind of come out of nowhere for some people, and I like to make you guys aware of some films that might not be on your radar. And I think that there is a chance that that Power Ballad could be one of those movies that wasn't on your radar and ends up being really good. Now, Mandalorian and Grogu seems like nobody's excited for it. I don't think anybody is too happy. I got news for you. I'm going with Jay, with Drunk 3PO and Beardo and X-Wing and probably Mo, and a bunch of us are going to go see it actually tomorrow night. So we might be doing an out of the theater reaction for it and talking about it, letting you guys know our thoughts. So watch for our channels to see what we think. We're going to try and have an early review to some degree on our channels about this movie because we're all going to go see it together in Savannah. So yeah, as Mark says, have fun and Sweet Potato. Why? The reason why, guys, is because we got to let y'all know if these movies are worth seeing. I mean, that's the long and short of it. We need to let you know if these movies are worth watching. And so we'll let y'all know. I'm not excited. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not hearing good things about Mandalorian and Grogu. And I have a strong feeling that it's not going to be great, or at the very least, it's going to be underwhelming. So, and yeah, as Mo says, yay! We got a spot where our house is going to have like ping pong tables and foosballs and stuff, and I think I would rather just be hanging out, drinking beers, and playing some ping pong instead of going to see Mandalorian and Grogu. But work calls. We got to let you guys know if that movie's worth seeing. I think most of you are predicting what the answer is going to be on that, but who knows? Maybe we'll secretly end up thinking that it's great. Maybe that's what'll happen. We'll just get surprised out of nowhere, and it's great. Maybe Mando and Grogu will be great. Maybe not. Maybe it's not going to be good at all. Father-in-Law is coming out though. A new Meet the Parents. I don't know about that. Really weird. I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm not much of a fan of Ben Stiller anymore. He's kind of been letting me down of late. Robert De Niro, it's Robert De Niro and Ariana Grande. Everything about this movie screams this might not be great. Might not be very good. But I did like the old Meet the Parents movies. But so maybe they'll be all right. And I see we got Kika Switch in here. We've got Chris in here saying Shrek 2. Yeah, she popped into the Bro Science group to let us know that we need to review Shrek 2 for a manly AF movie. And you know what, guys? Let me know in the chat. Should we review Shrek 2 on Bro Science? It might be the perfect movie. Shrek might be the alpha male. He might be the peak male form. Now that you mention it, I hadn't thought about it, but you might be right. Thanks for the 199. And we I'll have to talk to the boys. We got to see if we can maybe review Shrek 2 now that you're bringing it into the spotlight and letting everybody know that we need to talk about it. We might just need to do it. So as far as what's left for the year though, and what's coming out, kind of one of those like letting y'all know about movies that might end up being a big deal. This one right here, The Dog Stars. This movie could be fantastic, or it could be dog shit for one main reason: Ridley Scott. This is Ridley Scott's next movie, and I don't think anyone knows that this is coming out. It is kind of coming out of nowhere, but it stars the heartthrob of the ladies, Jacob Elordi and Josh Brolin. And Margaret Qualley. Three people that I like. It's got Benedict Wong in it as well, but this is a sci-fi, like kind of a futuristic semi-movie, but basically, so after the world's population has been ravaged by a pandemic, a man lives a lonesome existence in a Colorado airplane hangar with his dog and a dour gunman that he befriended. So that is Jacob Elordi and Josh Brolin. They're the two characters here. And basically a transmission comes through on a radio, and they decide to fly this old Cessna to go find out what is going on. And maybe there's life out there. So I think that this is going to be one of those that kind of comes out of nowhere and surprises people. And Crisco says the trailer looks promising. I did not know that there was a trailer for this. Oh, and it appears that there is. I had no idea. I am a little scared to play a trailer on here, depending on what studio is putting out this movie. I don't know if I want to play it, but I'd say check out the trailer for this. It could be a sleeper hit, but also Ridley Scott just recently put out Gladiator 2, which was one of my least favorite movies. It's absolutely terrible. So, like I said, this movie could go either way. It could be great. It could be not so great. So we'll see, but have the dog stars on your radar for sure. People will be talking about it. Looks like Narnia has been pushed back. Thank God, because no one wants to see a Greta Gerwig Narnia movie. God forbid. I don't want it. Now, a lot of these have already come out down low. I wasn't excited about them. Scream 7 is coming out soon. I'll probably end up seeing it. And Toy Story 5. Speaking of Krista, she was actually talking about this in Criticless, was like, is anybody excited for this movie? And so I need to ask chat, like, is anybody excited for Toy Story 5? I personally, not really. Pixar hasn't been doing great stuff. I don't know how this is going to go. I feel like this movie might be not great, but I hope it comes out of nowhere and blows our minds. I'll probably take the kids and we'll see it, but they aren't, chomping at the bit. They're a little older now, so like they're not jumping at Toy Story movies, but I hope it's great. The only other weird thing on this list here is the Social Reckoning, which is a sequel to The Social Network. Did any of you guys know that was happening? It is. We're getting a sequel to the Social Network. So really weird. I don't even know if they've been filming it yet. I mean, I guess they clearly have. It's supposed to come out this year, but Aaron Sorkin, of all people, is directing it. It's got Jeremy Allen White in it, Jeremy Strong. Like, there's some decent people in this movie. But I just, I don't really understand. They've got to really do something impressive to do a sequel. I mean, if they're roasting old Zuckerberg and really taking an interesting approach with it, like, maybe it ends up being great. It could be really cool, but I don't really want to hold my breath with this thing because it's, it is what it is. It's a sequel to The Social Network. Like, yeah, as Weird Robot said, like, do we really need a follow-up to The Social Network? It was good the way it ended. And I agree. So who knows? And yeah, Sean is saying that it doesn't seem like it's going to be a direct sequel. I've heard that as well. So maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But there's been a lot of good things that have come out this year. I've recommended some for y'all to go check out for sure. Like I said, see They Will Kill You. See Send Help. Like, there are some really good movies that people missed. I actually enjoyed Mercy. There were a lot of people that didn't. Mercy, I gave it a 78% on Criticless. It's got a 59, but it is on streaming. It's on Prime Video now. So, like, you can check it out. I actually thought it was a lot better than, a lot of people painted it out to be. And the interesting thing is it was directed by Timur here. I don't know if you're familiar, but this is the guy that did Wanted. Does anybody remember Wanted? And then the next question is, should we review Wanted on this channel? Because I freaking love this movie and would love to talk about it. And I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough anymore. I thought this movie was awesome. We've only got a 67 on Criticless, and I think that score is too low. I think it needs to be a most excellent because this movie was the shit and put James McAvoy, it really helped put him on the map. Now, Winefiend, given it a 71, I'm surprised. It seems like one you love a lot. And Wasp actually has already reviewed this as well. So we got a lot of our regulars, but let me know. Should we talk about Wanted at some point in the future? We'll wait until it's streaming somewhere and easy to get our hands on. And Zwanny, I see you bringing up Obsession here and asked if your daughter wanted to see Obsession. You love horror. And so I'll bring it up again because I keep talking about it. I keep bringing up Obsession, and it was the most recent movie that I've reviewed, and I'm just going to continue to urge you guys to see it. I gave it a 92%. I will say this movie is not a traditional horror movie. It is not. You need to know that. It is an interesting approach to horror, and it's just like, it is great, but it is dark. It is disturbing. It is unsettling, and I love it for that. But it is very different. It's a lot of, practical things in this movie and not what you expect from a modern horror. And the fact that they made it for $750 some odd thousand for under $1 million, this movie was made for. If that alone does not absolutely just blow your mind after seeing it, then I don't know what will, because this movie feels like it was made for a lot more money than that. And Curry Barker has a very, very promising career ahead of him, and I'm excited to see his next film. I think it's Nothing But Ghosts or something along those lines is the name of his next movie. I think it's going to be really good. So definitely check it out if you get a chance to see Obsession in theaters. Now, I want to get to some more supers here before I talk about a few other things because I did miss some of these. I got Margaret Riggle here, a member for 8 months. Thank you so much, Margaret. It says, glad to see you streaming. This should be good. Really glad to have you in here, Margaret. Love to see it. And 8 months. Thank you so much for being a member of the cult for as long as you have. And we got Jake Stanley. It says, cheers, everyone. And, that's a good point. I really screwed up. If you know anything about Criticless Cast Unhinged, I make sure to have a beverage on this show. I think the reason was I was a little worried solo dolo in this with a little bit of alcohol on board. This might go awry. I might say some things that I can't take back. And I already do that on a regular show. So, me being solo, you'd just be watching me here with a shovel, digging my way out of whatever shit show that I found myself in. It probably wouldn't be a good idea. But to everyone else that's having a nice drink for the night, cheers, says Jake Stanley. Thanks for the 10, brother. I love to see it. And Prison Wife Gary for 2 says, paint me like one of your French girls, Blaine. I love to see it. And this picture, dude, it's so good. It's so good. Prison Wife Gary, thanks for the 2. And we got Zwanny, new member. Glad to see you, a member of the channel again, Zwanny. I love to see it. And thank you for your 100 earlier. It is all really appreciated. As I've said many, many times to all you guys, couldn't say thank you enough. And one more time, just in case.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Now, one of the things here, I every week we do review a movie. Now, we like to incorporate you guys, let you kind of vote on whatever it is that we're reviewing and talking about. You might have seen it in the title. Now, I know a lot of you guys didn't see the movie that I want to talk about and that it ended up getting voted on. We actually I want to refresh it here, but the plan has been to talk about a movie called Pandorum. Now, like I said, if you have not seen this, don't bail. Hang out. Just wait around. Let me hype this for you a little bit, and we'll highlight some of the reviews, the things that have happened, and talk about this movie because that's the one thing that I've tried to stay consistent with. We veered away from it for a little while, but is talking about critic-hated movies. And I do actually want to pull up Rotten Tomatoes and look at this movie through that lens as well to see what the critics said about Pandorum. Because this movie, I saw it actually in theaters. This film came out back in 2009. I was like a couple years into college. And you see, Seamus here says, Pandorum was great. I saw it in theaters. And I think that I really love that we've been reviewing consistently of late critic-hated movies specifically. And we did that early on, and we pivoted away from it. We're coming back to it. And so I wanted to do we put it out there. I've had this one on the list for a while. Is this movie called Pandorum? Now I'm going to share the screen here of Pandorum from Criticless and the reviews here. Let's see. Oh wow, I got all these choices here. Look at this. But yes, so Pandorum, rated R movie, hour and 45 minutes long, not super long. It's billed though. Look at this. A sci-fi thriller, action adventure, mystery, horror. I mean, if that is not a combo for a kick-ass movie, I don't know what is. All of those genres, and listen, it kind of is. It really is all of these things. And now, if you've never seen Pandorum, chances are high you haven't, because a lot of people haven't. But if you're watching the chat, a lot of you guys are hyping this thing up, talking about how you saw it in theaters. And Weird Robot, there you go. You don't even have to look it up. I got it on the screen here. It is Pandorum. And Pandorum actually references to something that happens to you when you are in space. It's a theory that came up in this movie to where it's basically like a space sickness, when you've been in cryosleep too long. And this movie is essentially, it is about some guys waking up from cryosleep that have been sent out into space, and things go awry, very, very awry. And I like it. My Dixie, we've managed to find another movie that he doesn't like. So he's just a filthy critic. Come on, Dixie. You don't like this one either. So this movie it stars some very interesting people. Two big ones being Ben Foster and Dennis Quaid. I mean, come on, who doesn't love Dennis Quaid? The guy's the man. And Odysseus Run brings up some good ones here. This movie, Event Horizon, if you've seen that one and are a fan of that one, really good comparison. Also, Pitch Black, there's some easy comparisons to that one. Also, I would say Alien. if you have seen and liked those 3 movies, if you like Alien, if you like Pitch Black or Event Horizon, this movie is kind of a mashup of all of those things. And I really do recommend it. I have not seen this since it came out in 2009 in theaters, and it's streaming on Tubi. It's on the Roku channel, so it's multiple places for free. It's on Prime Video. It's easy to get your hands on. And so a lot of these critic-hated movies are kind of what pulled me to actually do Criticless. Like, this is actually one of those movies. I saw this in theaters, was like, hell yeah, let's go. Like, this movie's badass. I love it. I think this is super cool. It's an interesting concept. It's really weird. It's gory. It's just a very interesting sci-fi movie. And then the critics dropped their reviews, and lo and behold, take a look here. The critics gave this movie a 26%. And granted, I'm not a huge fan of the audience on Rotten Tomatoes either, but either way, a 26% and a 49%. Already on Criticless, we are sitting at a 67%, which is not bad. A rad is a good place to be. But a 26%, and if you look here at the consensus, it says, while it might prove somewhat satisfying for devout sci-fi fans, Pandorum's bloated derivative plot ultimately leaves it drifting in space. And I don't agree. Like, I do not agree with that at all. Now, it does pull from some other genres, some other films, but it's super cool because, you know, a lot of horror movies, they will, they borrow from each other. That's obviously a thing that regularly happens in horror. We know that, but I think that when people throw around derivative, it really kind of it really hurts movies like this that is mixing some new with some old and trying some new and interesting things, but also going with some formulas that we've seen before. And so this is a creature feature. There are creatures in this movie. They are weird as shit. They look like they got pulled straight from the Mad Max universe, but sci-fi. And so I see my Dixie saying, what's with the poster? There are tons of hoses in this movie, man. There's all kinds of hoses happening. But so that's the whole thing it's kind of playing on, is the waking up from cryosleep. You've got these hoses in you. And so the whole thing is that Ben Foster wakes up from hyperspace and he's like, oh shit, my spaceship is falling apart. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know how he's got there. And things aren't looking good. And so basically early on, we find out that humanity is reaching an end. And basically, this horror movie is set up around this spaceship that was basically a capsule for humanity launched out into space, and it was meant to save us. And so it has, you know, the meaning of life in it. It has humans. It has all of these different life forms and things so that we can continue and keep Earth going, keep humanity going. And something has gone wrong. And yes, exactly. Life on Marshmallow says it's an arc. It is an arc sent through space. But what I love about this movie is a lot of movies go with the show don't tell. This movie's like, fuck that. No, show don't tell. No, we're going to do nothing but show. We're going to show you guys the weirdest, most over the top, crazy creatures, and they're going to be scary, and they're going to be hunting down our main characters here, and they're going to be terrorizing this ship. And yeah, as Odysseus Run says, yeah, it's Project Hail Mary, except for it's just totally fucked. Yeah, he's not wrong. You know, this is just, it is like, what if that went wrong? And Dennis Quaid does a great job. I wish he was in the movie a little bit more, but he's still in it enough. But Ben Foster, I think, does a great job. And if we were to scroll down here, let's see if he's credited. But Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead and many other things, Boondock Saints, is in this movie as well. He just kind of shows up out of nowhere. But this movie is bloody. It's gory. If you take a look here at the themes on Criticless, language a bit more. There's a lot of cussing actually in this. I would put it at like, this would go in a lot to a ton territory. There's a lot of language in this movie, but a lot of violence. Totally agree. It is this like, yeah, actually Life on Marshmallows as well. Got some Resident Evil vibes in this movie. There is some Resident Evil vibes in this as well. And, so with that all being the case, there's no nudity or sexuality, no political bias, which is great. You know, that's the other thing about these older movies, is that they're not full of a lot of just the modern trash that kind of pisses all of us off, you know, that we're all sick of. This movie doesn't have any of that because it came out in 2009 before it all got really rolling. And look, a lot of entertainment value as well. So that's the thing, man. This movie keeps you on its toes. It is balls out open. And actually, Odysseus Run Resident Evil as well. This is some big Resident Evil vibes. It is the way that the creatures are handled. They're not zombies, but they're humanoid creatures that are pretty terrifying, and they do almost kind of lean zombie movie adjacent in their vibe, and they're pretty freaky. But that's the thing, is that like I saw it today and I'm like, how am I going to score this? And I'm like, look, man, this might not be like, hey, this is the best movie I've ever seen in my life, but at the same time, this is a damn good horror movie, and it's better than a lot of the stuff that comes out, especially over the past 10 years or so. I mean, at the very least, it's going to be a very high rad for me, if not a low most excellent. I'm not quite sure where I land. I gotta marinate on it a little bit more, but I did want to see all of you guys' thoughts. Man, you guys keep coming up with perfect connections as well. It's Passengers Gone Wrong as well. That's a good one too, because you do kind of have this male female, these two people finding each other and trying to survive in space together. There are so many movies that kind of connect to this, but that it very much still stands on its own, and it is its own thing. Now, my Dixie just dropped his review. I want to refresh, make sure that he's not the newest one. Okay, so see, Dixie, you didn't hate this. You didn't hate it, but he did call it an Alien knockoff. And in a way, it does have some Alien vibes. But like I said, this movie, though, instead of this goes for that show don't tell aspect, and it is showing everything. They put it all out there. You're seeing the creatures in the light, in the dark, and you're seeing all the gritty, gross stuff. But it does have some Alien vibes to it for sure. But hey, at least you gave it a 59. You gave it a decent, so you still liked it to some degree. You said Dennis Quaid was good, and the sets are cool looking. And that is the thing, man. They put 110% into the settings of Pandorum. Like, the spaceship is just gritty, and it looks like it was probably nice when they built it, but it's been falling apart, and you don't know how long it's been out in space. You don't know what's going on. And so The Mask, Marvel gave it a 71%. He liked it fairly well. And yeah, he said it feels like it pulls from a few different influences. We've made a lot of connections to it as well. And he said, Ben Foster always kills it. And I'll say this, Ben Foster's in a movie, probably going to be freaking good. That dude is great. If you're not familiar with Ben Foster's work, you need to be, because the dude does awesome movies and he's always great, always shows up. Odysseus Run is likely here in the chat as well too still, and gave it a 79%, a rad, 1 point away from a most excellent. So he really liked it as well. He said, don't sweat it. I wouldn't have survived this long if I had a heart. And that is the thing too, is it's like, you're lost out in space. Things get pretty dark. Things get pretty messy when you're just trapped floating around out there in space. Probably Toxic gave it a 79% from 3 hours ago. And he said, okay, first off, Blaine, I'm not a guy, I'm a chick. Well, holy shit, Probably Toxic. Well, damn, that's good to know, Nomi. Are you one of the Nomi? Is this somebody that I know like by another name elsewhere, but you guys have a different name on Criticless also? If so, always let me know. Sorry, Probably Toxic. I didn't know you were a chick. That's awesome. Find out something new every freaking day. Sorry, I've been calling you a dude for so long. But I don't know how much I can say without giving too much away, other than it's a pretty good movie. And yeah, that is kind of the struggle. Is I was trying to decide how I wanted to talk about this movie, because once things start happening, it's nuts, and it's better to not have it spoiled, because it is a really cool sci-fi movie, and I don't really want to spoil anything about the creatures. I don't want to spoil anything about how it plays out, because you're kind of slowly finding out as you go. It really does kind of hold a lot of information all the way up until the end of like how these guys got stuck in space. Now, Life on Marshmallow is also in the chat, gave it a 68%, and said it was good with a few minor tweaks. It could have been great. And I do agree. Like, there are some little things here and there that could have made this a little bit better. But at the same time, it's still a really, really solid film. And Zwani, I see you saying, have I seen 310 to Yuma? Also, I know why you're bringing that up as far as the cast of this movie. And yes, 310 to Yuma is very good. I have not seen it in a long time. And Omelette gave it a 20%. I did give you a downvote. If you write some text, maybe why you hate it so much, maybe I'll come back and give you a thumbs up. And then Eagle Thrasher as well from 4 days ago gave it a 76%, and paired it with a Rise Against music video here. I love to see. And if you guys don't know, on Criticless, a lot of you guys, when you pay and you join Crit Club, which supports us directly, Criticless is fully self-funded. That's the thing. I mean, we funded, me and my wife, we funded this whole thing ourselves. We bootstrapped it. And so we are doing this all on our own. So you guys are what keeps us afloat, what keeps us alive. As I said about the scientists and the lab rats earlier, yeah, after all those are paid, it's a wash. So we do appreciate it. So Eagle Thrasher actually ended up pairing this with a music video. And I was going to say, a lot of you guys, that's kind of the theme that's happened over the years of Criticless being out, is you're like, hey, this music video is perfect pairing for this movie. So I'll have to check out the song. Definitely not on stream, or I will get copyright popped. And Lily here with 300 Mirrors gave it a 92%. And see, here's the thing. It's like I was talking about earlier. She said, I had no idea what to expect from this movie and wasn't prepared for what I was about to watch, and remembered when it came out and it caught her attention, but didn't see it. So that's the thing, is movies like this, what happens is that these movies, they'll come out, especially back then when Rotten Tomatoes was a lot of all we had, was that, the movie comes out, it's in theaters, and before even anybody gets a chance to see it, you see this big, glaring, wherever it was, Rotten Tomatoes, you see this freaking Rotten Tomatoes score where they gave it a 26%, and back in the day, you'd be like, oh man, well, I guess this movie sucks. Like, I'm not going to see it. I'm sure that this is shit. And then it turns out that it's actually really cool, and it's really interesting, and you have a good time with it. And even if it's not a most excellent on the critical scale, it's worth seeing, right? Like, and people missed a lot of these good movies back then, and it's why we need things like Criticless, is to have an actual accurate rating and review scale, because on Rotten Tomatoes, it's pretty much a thumbs up, thumbs down. And if you are not fully on board with it, then that counts as that thumbs down. And all of a sudden, this Rotten Tomatoes score turns out to be like a 26 or a 49 or whatever, because it's not equally balanced by simply the percentage rating that everyone is giving it, like we do on Criticless, where everybody is rated on the same scale. In that kind of way. So that's the thing, is a lot of people missed this movie because it got absolutely railed by the critics, which sucks. I hate it for them, because it was a fantastic movie that I think is a lot of fun. Jake Blueblaze, one of the ones pushing us to watch this, gave it a 100%. I love to see it. That is awesome, dude. It's one of his favorites. So, and we got him in the chat here. I'm glad you love this one. And Max Vision as well. He says Ben Foster is a really good actor. He's sort of fallen off the map a little bit lately, and wonder why. And so that's the interesting thing. I was looking, and Ben Foster had a movie come out fairly recently that I saw on Hulu or somewhere. I want to see if I can find it here. He was in the Warcraft movie. Really interesting character in The Punisher. But that's the thing, is Ben Foster's that guy that you recognize, that you're like, oh, that's that dude. But if you've never seen Hell or High Water, one of my favorite films, this movie absolutely slaps, and Ben Foster is in it. Watch Hell or High Water, and this is a Taylor Sheridan written movie if you're into Yellowstone and all of those things. So check out Hell or High Water if you have not. This movie is awesome, and he was in it. But I did want to find out and see if I could see, God, there's so many movies here I love. He really has done so many things I like. But he did Ben Foster did a movie very recently, and I don't see it here. It could be because the poster has changed. I think it might actually be this Sharp Corner movie. Yes. So this is on Hulu, and I actually heard decent things about this. Odin, OMB Reviews saw it, and so did Banjo. And Odin gave it a 75%. He's pretty particular. And so this is a new Ben Foster movie if you're interested in seeing what he's been doing lately. Sharp Corner. This trailer looks less interesting, actually, than the other ones. Or not trailer, but poster, than the other trailers that are posters that I saw. And it says a dedicated family man becomes obsessed with saving the lives of the car accident victims on the sharp corner in front of his house, an obsession that could cost him everything. So it sounds interesting. It's Ben Foster. I want to see it. It's on Hulu, so I will probably be watching this movie. So, yeah, Ben Foster's still out and about. He's still doing things. But, yeah, I think I've worked my way through most of the recent reviews and from our regulars. But, yeah, Max Vision 62. Phil Brigg gave it a 64. Rev Rami gave it a 57. So he was so-so on it, but paired it with a music video. And Sundev Alinamali and some of the other Criticless users that are kind of our normals are in here with some decents. But that's the thing. There's no rads. There's no heinouses. There's no boguses. So clearly, this movie is more loved than people let on, and the score should be higher. And I think a 67% isn't bad. I'd love to see it at least the 70s as that upper rad, and that's where I'm going to end up putting it. So if you end up watching this after my kind of recommendation here, hopefully I stayed mostly spoiler-free and kind of had you guys, primed for this movie, but didn't spoil it, definitely check out Pandorum. I think it's really cool and it's super easily accessible right now. But I did want to pull up some more super chats here. I had not pulled it up yet, needed to. Is J-Doge gave us 5 Criticless cast memberships. Welcome to the cult, people. I'm sure you guys have already been divvied out some of these memberships. We love to see new cult members. Keep them coming, and we love to see y'all in here supporting the channel. Is another way to support Criticless and just me and everything that we are doing over here. We love all the support we can get. So thanks so much, and thanks J-Doge for that. And then also, I see Ryan in here for $5 says, off subject, really excited for Masters of the Universe. I got the popcorn bucket and sword today. Dude, they're already out. Like, for real. I had no idea. I am probably going to go get one of both ASAP. I want them so bad, and if they are sold out before this damn movie comes out, I'm going to be so pissed. Now, like I said, I already have my Masters of the Universe tickets. I am so excited for this movie, and it's actually not off topic, dude, because we were talking about it earlier. But he says, yeah, I got the popcorn bucket and sword today. Yes, I know I'm part of the problem. I just hope it's good. Listen, even if this movie's not good, it's still Masters of the Universe. It's still He-Man. It could go either way. I want to get the Masters of the Universe sword that is a cup, and I want to hang it up somewhere. I want to find a place to put it behind me because it is so cool, and have it in the background, for future streaming. I've actually been saving up my AMC points. I've got like $20 off or something now. So I am going to be buying that popcorn bucket and sword. If you guys have not seen the stuff that's going to be for this movie, it looks absolutely awesome. All of the merch for the movie theaters and all of that they're giving out, it all looks really cool. So yeah, Ryan said it was put out today. So did you just like go to the theater literally just to get the popcorn bucket and stuff? Because if so, that's awesome. I appreciate that. That's badass. So I am going to be getting them. Doyle says it's going to flop hard. I actually do not think it is going to flop. I think it is going to do very well. I think you were completely wrong. And I think that this movie might be the sleeper hit of the year. I'm not saying that it's going to do like absolute gangbusters to where it's like an unprecedented amount of money, but I think that word of mouth and good reception is possibly going to keep Masters of the Universe trucking far longer than people were expecting and be kind of one of those summer sleeper hits. I do not think it is going to flop at all. I think it's going to do well as long as it's good. I think if it is good, if it is a good movie, then it is going to do very, very well. But it does have to be good. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so I hear you, Odysseus. Yeah, maybe do this a little more often so that we can hang more and stuff. I like doing these kind of streams. They're fun. I don't do them a lot, but I do like interacting with you guys more and hanging out and just talking to the chat and hanging with the homies, because you guys are the best, and y'all are why I do this. I mean, in all seriousness, like I like hanging out with y'all. I like talking about Criticless, like talking about what's coming for the future, and even just what's going on in the entertainment industry, and just getting to kind of chew the fat a little bit and see what's going on with all of y'all and what you're interested in, what you've been watching. And Life on Marshmallows was asking, are we doing Dreamcatcher next time? So that is what I am debating on. I'm trying to figure out, because next week is also going to be a mess. Next week is the Carowinds meetup and all of that stuff. There's a lot happening. And then also Forbidden Planet, we are supposed to be doing that because we had a lot super chatted on it last week. So I do want to do it, but I want to wait and see if it shows up free somewhere next month. So for Forbidden Planet, I want to wait. Now, I think we could Dreamcatcher is actually kind of a perfect pairing with this film that we just did, because I think it is also another sleeper hit that a lot of people missed. And it is in that horror thriller genre, and is very underappreciated. I've talked about it on previous shows. It is easy to access. It is on Tubi and on Roku channel, same places as the other. So, and then also if you just wanted to buy it or rent it or whatever. But I love this movie. Sid, the Miss Criticless, actually really wants to talk about and do this movie. So I think that this might be a perfect opportunity to bring her onto the show. I know that y'all like to see her some, like her here. So I'm thinking that maybe I bring Sid on and she does this review with me, and maybe see who else. I don't know if I don't know as far as anybody else being in town yet for the Criticless meetup, but either way, this could be a perfect one. This movie is wild. And guys, look, Thomas Jane is in this cast. If you know Thomas Jane, if you're a Thomas Jane fan, then you're a Thomas Jane fan. You know the dude. He was a Punisher, was an excellent Punisher. But also, guys, Morgan Freeman, Thomas Jane, Timothy Oliphant. Like, the cast in this movie is really solid. This is a very, very interesting, weird movie. Do not look too much up on it, but I will just say it is very sci-fi. It definitely gets into the horror, but it is very much, it does not list it here, but this movie is also very, very funny and very just weird. I saw this back in 2003 and it blew my mind. It was much better than I was expecting it to be. It is, this is a cool film. I think it would surprise a lot of you, and I would want to hear all of y'all's thoughts on it because of just how weird and over the top it is, and a lot of people missed it. So I think we're going to do Dreamcatcher next week, and I think I'm going to try and get Sid on the show with me. And my Dixie says she is better than Matt or Chris, and better than me too. You know, you're not wrong. She's better than all three of us. So yeah, but I think I'll bring her on next week if you guys want to join us, and we'll see. I don't know if it'll be Chris or Matt or who. Maybe somebody will be with us, or it'll just be the two of us. I don't know. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll do Dreamcatcher. And then actually, if you did not know, and I can't remember if I mentioned it earlier, but Saturday, next week, next Saturday, Jay, Drunk 3PO, is going to be here in the studio, recording with me, doing a live with Mo Zamboni and some others. And we're going to be doing a live show and talking about possibly the back rooms. And then just kind of hanging out, talking about the meetup, just doing whatever, answering questions with you guys and just hanging out with the chat. So next Saturday, we'll give y'all a time once we kind of have that hammered down. But make sure to check on what's going on this channel next Saturday, because it'll be a big show and it's going to be really fun. And we'd love to hang out with you guys and just kind of do the thing. Jay's been really excited to come here in the studio and actually do some recording. So I think that's going to be really, really cool, really fun, because he hasn't been over here yet. So it's going to be a good time. So Dreamcatcher for next Thursday. But then following that, it's looking like we're going to maybe be doing that Forbidden Planet movie. I've never seen it, but that was what was recommended in Super Chatted. And yes, Life on Marshmallows was wondering, Saturday the 30th. Yes, Saturday the 30th is when Jay will be here in the studio recording. And I don't know with who else. I know some other people are going to be coming over here. Beardo was initially going to be on that trip, but I don't think he is now. He's been traveling a ton. So that probably won't happen. But I don't know who else is going to be over here. Either way, it's going to be a fun show. I know Mo will be here with us too. So it's going to be a good time, and it'll be a fun time in the studio. But yeah, so Dreamcatcher next week. Back rooms next week going to be reviewed on this channel, and a lot's going to be happening. It's going to be a really good time, and I'm just going to have fun hanging with you guys in the chat. But I do think that that's going to be it for today's show. I figured it'd be a little bit shorter, simply me solo dolo in this thing. But you guys have been great. I love y'all showing up for, just me and hanging out and doing one of these. And I think there's been some talks now that summer's happening. I might have a show like this that I do more regularly, that's not unhinged, that maybe is talking about other stuff. I've tossed around maybe a cultural type show, not politics, but culture, kind of similar, not quite to what we do for Culture for Boomers, but some just talking about other things happening in the world. So yeah, I think it could be really fun. So I might be doing that in the future as well. But I think that has been everything for today's stream. I don't, we'll do it while we got you guys in here. Before I end it, I'm going to go ahead and do the thing. And if you're not familiar, we're going to do the send-off songs or send-off dongs.
Wiener, 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 wiener.
Yes, it's time. It is time for the send-off songs, or as my wife accidentally put in the chat, the send-off dongs. Yeah, that was a great move for her. But yeah, so the song that I'm recommending you check out, give it a listen. It's good stuff. I have been listening to it lately, and it is a more chill, like kind of indie-ish, singer-songwriter type. And I figured it would be very on brand. The song is called Shark Attack. So let's get those jaws. Let's see all of those jaws in the comments from our members. The song is called Shark Attack, and it's by a guy named Joshua Sloan. He's really good. My wife is actually who showed him to me, and I was like, damn, this is some good music. This dude's pretty good. If you just like some more chill vibes, that, like I said, indie singer-songwriter type stuff, Shark Attack by Joshua Sloan. There we go, Zwane. See, you know what's up. Dropping those jaws for sure. So yeah, check out that song, and Marc Andre as well. That's right. So yeah, check out his music and give him a listen and let me know what you think of his stuff, because I think he's pretty good. And yeah, we'll see all of you guys over on Criticless. Make sure to get over there and review all the things that you're watching, all the things you're checking out, whether it be TV shows, movies. And the reviews don't have to be crazy. You can start with one sentence, one paragraph, even just a score if you need to, and then move on from there, you know? It doesn't have to be overcomplicated or too crazy. You don't have to write novels like I do. I've kind of set a precedent for how my reviews are structured now, and I can't really avoid it. So that's just how it goes. But yeah, go ahead and drop those reviews in Criticless. Let us know what you're watching and what you've been checking out lately. And I will be back next week, but I got to go ahead and get packed and ready for this trip, because it's gonna be fun, and I will probably see some of you guys in the next couple days over there at 9 Line in Savannah, Georgia. And if not, maybe we'll see you here in the Charlotte area for the Carowinds meetup. So much is happening, and there's more even after that, which we aren't even talking about yet, just because there's so much going on right now. But everybody, this has been a great show. It's been a lot of fun hanging with y'all, and I will see you next time. Everybody, take it easy. Later.
I'm not gonna lie, love to sit, take a big dump on the toilet, watch your videos. Respect. Okay.